Hello crafters, today I thought of a technique I want to use for a card. I want to use the Minc Foil, the one that normally you'd use with the Heidi Swapp Minc machine, but I want to use it with my embossing folders. So, because in this case I only want to use a strip of 1-inch strip, this is what we are going to do today, but of course you can use on larger backgrounds. So let's get started. First I'm going to pick up the color I want to use. In this case is red because I'm working on a Valentine's card. I'm going to apply 1-inch double-sided tape. This is a very cheap double-sided tape that I got from the 99-cent store, and because this technique works so well I think I'm gonna go and get more. And of course for larger backgrounds you can use the big 6-inch wide double-sided tape, or you can have whichever double-sided tape you have and put strips next to each other as close as possible. So I'm sorry if you're going to see my head. I'm trying to apply this as straight as I can. Okay. I'm going to use my scissors. I have a special pair of scissors that only use double-sided tape because you lose a lot of glue behind. From time to time I clean them, but now they're cleaned. I'm going to use my bone folder to give it a good burnishing. As much as you can. You can actually see how it sticks down even better. You almost see the texture of the paper coming through. I'm going to take my cutting board, my paper trimmer, and I'm going to cut this down to size. Try to match the line in the cutting mat at the end of my double-sided paper strip. It doesn't have to be perfect, but as much as we can, because I need to use 1 inch for my project. I need 1-inch wide strips. Just got it. Perfect. Just sort of put on here, but it doesn't matter. It's not gonna ruin our project. Let's get rid of that. Put this on the side. And let's put our strip on the side. And now let's take the foil and unravel it. And I love this foil, but I hate the fact that this has a mind of its own. So if you have a magnetic Mac like I do, I like to put magnets to keep it in place. I find that this works best, at least. Also it's because it's so staticky. And now it stays the way I want it to stay. Now I'm going to remove the strip paper. And look how beautiful the glue stays there. I'm going to move this just a little bit. And also be careful, of course, with the magnets, because it might scratch your paper a little bit. And I find it easier if the foil it's actually under the paper when I put it all together. It stays nice and straight, no bubbling. Okay, perfect, or at least as perfect as you can get. I'm gonna take my scissors now and cut my paper. Cut my foil as close as I can. It doesn't matter. And by the way, I tried to look to see if this technique was done before. I couldn't find anything on it. So if you guys can find something else, apologies. I really thought it was a unique technique and I wanted to share it with everyone. And and I tend to keep my foils in their original packaging because I think it protects them very well. They're very sensitive as far as I'm concerned, then they scratch easily, and then actually the foil is off. I'm gonna put it there later. What I'm going to do now, so this is our strip with the foil on it. I'm gonna use again the vernishing tool or anything to varnish that sticks so good to our paper. Where's my point folder? And the folder I'm going to use today, it's one of Sue Wilson's folders. I love her big A4 size folders. It's this one. It's called Tartan Trellis. I love her big. My cards are usually big, so 5x7 folders never do it for me. I love to have the choice of the size when I create my my embossing. And when you open your folder, you feel that one side is a lot more raised than the other side. So you want, if you want the embossing part to be on the part with the foil, of course you have to put the side of the paper to put it down on the very raised side. So this is what I have here, a very raised side. I'm going to put my paper down as straight as I can. And if you want to create strips with different embossing folders where the design is a lot wider, or try and cut your strips as wide as the design, so that the entire full of strip of design fits in your strip of embossing strip. Okay, I'm gonna close the folder now, and I'm going to take my grand caliber. And for the Sue Wilson folders, what I find that works for me best, it's actually the gray plate, my folder of course, and then I also like to have a little bit of a shim. This is like very, it's not even medium, it's the same kind of chipboard that better said cardboard that you have with your cereal boxes. So I put that as a shim. So now I'm going to put it through the machine. If the camera shakes, it's because it's attached to the lamp, and of course the lamp is attached to the crafting table. We are done here. Putting the machine away. And look at that. Look how beautiful it is. Look. If you want, you can leave it like this, and that's absolutely no problem. But of course you can remove it. What I still like to do is again go a little bit but a lot softer this time, because you don't want to flatten out all that embossing you've done. And now it's time to remove the foil, and it's absolute perfection. Look, basically the foil is clear, everything stays on your paper. See, the foil is absolutely clear, everything is on our strip. And this is how I found the best way to use the Minc foil with embossing folders. No machine needed here. I also tried to use with wet glue, and it didn't really work so well. Probably either I didn't have the patience to wait for the glue to actually dry completely. I actually even put it through the Minc machine, and still, like, this one didn't come out so well. It's a black cardstock with a gold foil, and as you can see there are pieces here where the foil didn't stay on the cardstock, and I really think it takes away from the shine. The glue behind the foil takes away from the shine. I also used just foil with no glue, with a piece of cardstock underneath, and I embossed. So this is just the pure foil, and I think it will look great on, you know, small backgrounds or even big backgrounds, high reaches. But like I said, I had a piece of cardstock underneath when I passed it through the in the embossing board or through the machine. And this is our tutorial for today with Minc foil and embossing folders. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day and all the best for the 2016. Bye bye.